Before the internet, our world was big and slow. Information traveled at the speed of paper and postage stamps. If you wanted to know something, you went to the library. You pulled out a heavy book and searched through its pages. News came from the morning paper or the evening television broadcast. You waited for it. It did not wait for you. Life was local. Your community was your street, your town, your city. You knew your neighbors. You talked to them over the fence. The world beyond your town was a distant place seen only in magazines or on TV. Think about planning a trip. You couldn't just search for flights online. You had to call a travel agent. This was a person you knew, someone in an office downtown. Then came a strange new sound. It was a series of beeps, screeches, and hisses. This was the sound of a modem connecting to the internet. This was the sound of dial-up. In the early 1990s, families started bringing computers into their homes. These big beige boxes, they could connect to a network. This network was the early internet. To use it, you had to plug your phone line into the computer. While you were online, no one could call your house. You were literally dialing into a new world, and it tied up the only line you had. Getting online was a deliberate act. It took time. You would sit and wait for the modem to finish its noisy handshake. Once connected, you found a world made mostly of text. Websites were simple pages with blue links. There were no videos, and pictures took a very long time to load, line by painful line. You paid for the internet by the hour. Every minute online cost money, so you used your time carefully. In the late 1990s, the internet started to get fast. The slow crawl of dial-up began to be replaced by always-on broadband connections. This changed everything. With more speed, the internet became a visual place. Websites were no longer just text. Color images, simple animations. Companies realized that this was a new frontier. They rushed to create websites and claim their piece of the digital world. This was the dot-com boom. Suddenly every company needed a .com at the end of its name. The internet was no longer just for hobbyists, it was for business. This was the age when search engines became our guides. Google arrived in 1998 with a clean, simple page. It promised to help us find anything we wanted to know, and it worked. The library was no longer the only source of knowledge. You could sit at your computer and ask any question. How tall is the Eiffel Tower? What is the recipe for lasagna? Who was the third president of the United States? The answers were there in seconds. The early 2000s gave birth to a new kind of internet. It wasn't just about finding information anymore. It was about sharing our own lives. This was the beginning of the social network era. Friendster appears. MySpace appears. Then, in 2004, Facebook arrived. These platforms gave everyone a public profile. It was like having your own personal website. But it was easy to use. You could upload photos. You could write about your day. You could connect with friends from high school you hadn't seen in years. The internet became a place to see and be seen. Our idea of friendship started to change. Before, a friend was someone you saw and talked to regularly. Now, you could have hundreds, even thousands of friends online. You could keep up with their lives through their posts. You knew when they got a new job. You knew when they went on vacation. You knew when they had a baby. It created a feeling of constant connection. We were never truly alone with our thoughts. This era also turned us all into media creators. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone. This was not the first smartphone, but honestly, it was the one that changed everything. It put a powerful, easy-to-use computer connected to the internet right into our pockets. Before the smartphone, going online was something you did at a desk. You had to sit down and turn on a computer. Now the internet was with us everywhere, all the time. It was in the grocery store line. It was at the dinner table. It was next to our bed while we slept. The internet was no longer a place we visited. It became a layer on top of our reality. This constant connectivity changed our behavior in public and private spaces. People waiting for a bus no longer just stood and waited. They looked at their phones. People sitting in a park no longer just watched the world go by. They scrolled through social media feeds. Even moments of boredom disappeared. Any spare second could be filled with a quick check of email, a short video, or a game. Our minds were always occupied, always stimulated. We lost the habit of being alone with our thoughts. As the internet grew, it became too big for any person to explore on their own. We needed help, and that help came in the form of algorithms. An algorithm is just a set of rules a computer follows to make a decision. Social media sites use algorithms to decide what posts to show you. Streaming services use them to recommend movies you might like. Online stores use them to show you products you might want to buy. These invisible formulas began to shape our digital experience. They became our personal guides to the vast world of the internet. These algorithms are designed to do one thing: keep you engaged. They watch what you click on, what you like, and how long you watch a video. Then they show you more of the same. If you watch one video about baking bread, YouTube will suggest 10 more. If you like a political post on Facebook, your feed will fill up with similar opinions. This can be very convenient. However, this creates a problem called a filter bubble or an echo chamber. When you only see things that you already agree with, your world starts to shrink. You stop seeing different points of view. The internet didn't just change how we learn and socialize, it fundamentally changed how we work. The rise of high-speed internet and powerful smartphones created a new kind of work: the gig economy. Instead of a traditional 9-to-5 job, people could now work on a task-by-task basis. Apps like Uber let people use their own car to become a taxi driver. Apps like DoorDash let them deliver food from local restaurants. People could sign up to be a freelance writer, a graphic designer, a virtual assistant. They found clients from all over the world on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. This new way of working offered incredible flexibility. You could decide when you wanted to work and for how long. For some, this was liberating. A student could earn money between classes. A parent could work while their children were at school. It let people control their schedules and be their own boss. The internet broke down the old work structure tied to place and rigid hours. Work was no longer a place you went to, it was something you did, wherever you had an internet connection. However, the gig economy also brought new challenges. Many of these jobs do not come with traditional employment protections. This creates financial instability. We have traveled a long way in a very short time. From the silent, paper-based world of just a few decades ago, we now live in a state of constant global connection. The internet is no longer a separate thing, it is woven into the fabric of our lives. It has changed how we think, it has changed how we work, it has changed how we love. It has given us superpowers. We have access to all of human knowledge in our pockets and given a voice to billions of people. But every powerful tool has a downside. The internet has also created new problems. It has created new forms of addiction. It has strained our attention spans and made deep focus a rare skill. It has contributed to a more sedentary and physically unhealthy lifestyle. We are grappling with these challenges in real time. This is the great challenge of our generation. We must be active and mindful citizens of the digital world. The story of the internet is our story, and we are the ones who will write the next chapter.